fighting going on down there. There's nothing going on over here.
Okay. So, how many of you guys have seen our video yet?
Don't fuck
Okay,
up.
so some of you. So in that video, we were sort of promoting the use of this stance, because it's sort of a basic all-around stance. But there's actually a lot more you can do out there. So I guess the first variation of that would be really just to put your weapon forward. And we sort of went into that a little bit. I can show you on a bias. You know, if I have my shield foot forward, this is what my range is. I'm sorry. This is what my range is basically. Then without really changing the position of my body, if I switch feet, then all of a sudden I've got another 6 inches. And of course, you know, I am more vulnerable on the side. You know, you can just sort of slide it right there. Yeah, or underneath. Yeah. So that's something that you're going to have to watch out for. You can also vary your hand position too. Like instead of just here, you can actually do like this. Here, I have a better protection, and my hand actually is better able to attack this side because it's sort of higher up. Or also going for the leg shot that we talked about in the video, like that, not in the ground. Okay, Omega, why don't you show them something else? Yeah, stance.
Alright, stance I like to use really offensive one with your weapon foot forward, with a punch shield.
Oh, sorry, guys.
If you stand here, really lay close, your shield lifted, I'm pretty much protected, and even if he decides to go high, I have my hands here for blocking, and I can counterattack. So with pretty much all around, and from here, you can move to the side really easily off your back foot.
It's all centered, like
yeah, you really got to keep your balance.
Really good.
It's about
good for
stepping
counterattacking.
and moving away from your opponent.
And it's a simple step. It increases his range crazy.
Yeah.
Without like really doing much. You know, coming from here to here isn't hard. And a lot of times your opponent doesn't even realize it. So you're here, you switch. Now you've got all that extra range, and he probably didn't pick up on it. See, when you're fighting a lefty, if he's fighting with sword side forward, it's basically the same fight, just with a little bit more range, because your open side is his open side too. So it's basically when you fight a lefty, just swing really hard at his left side. Right? You know what I mean? It's whoever gets there fastest. But here, as a lefty, it's just more attack options, but I'm a lot more vulnerable, you know? Whereas with a righty, when you're weapon side forward, you're still a little bit more protected. You know? So it's actually safer, I think, for a righty to go weapon side forward than for a lefty. But it's a good option. Like that guy was doing it. But no, it's a really quick little trick too.
And there's also nothing wrong with alternating a lot.
Yeah.
Like I am a predominantly right leg forward fighter, but if Magnus is like about to encroach on me, I will fall back to heavy.
And now he's defending, exactly.
Yeah. And then once he recoils his attack, I can step back for a little more range. Get his attack in there.
Yeah, and in many fights, you'll actually, you know, when you see an opponent just in front of you, you can think about where his openings are and what stance will allow you to exploit that the best. So you'll probably, I mean, in some fights, I find myself shifting stances several times to see what looks like a good opening.
If you're fighting your right leg forward and their left leg forward, like fighting it leaves this shot a lot more open for you to then. Because if he wants to take my leg, go ahead and try. Like, just it's a lot easier to go here because it's a little bit longer of a reach. Instead of having to reach way out here for it, it's just instead of having to reach all the way across for it. So that's a good for like if you just want to step in, like you're fighting here, you see it, you can step in quick.
Yep.
And when you start getting used to moving your feet around, you'll notice you get hit in the legs, obviously less, but your shoulders you'll get hit less too. Because a lot of fighters compensate for their lack of footwork with dropping their shield low. which increases this shot. But when you feel comfortable enough to keep your shield this high, or like these guys, I'll never do a round shield trick. These guys have much better footwork than me. But when you start feeling that comfortable, you won't get hit in the shoulder as much, and you'll be down, you'll be out of range of their leg attack. So it leaves you just offensive.
Always, no matter what. It's more of a basic thing that no matter what, have your shoulders covered when you're moving. Because when you move, that's when you're most successful. Yeah, to shoulder attacks because you're rolling back a lot, but always keeping covered.
Anyone have any more questions about stances?
No stupid questions.
There are no stupid questions.
No, just don't ask
Only
me.
bad questions. Yeah. Okay. So why don't you all sort of everyone who has like weapons, or even if you don't, why don't you just sort of get into your stance, sort of spread out?
What feels comfortable?
That's one thing too. Like you have to get comfortable with the stance before you can even think about swinging the weapon. You have to feel good in your ability to move around. So if you want to get in front of a peer or a partner, shadow box, even without it.
Everybody here's got pretty solid stance. Like you guys all seem to know that like whatever leg you have forward, especially your left leg, you keep it nice and defended. Just keep that sword there because no matter what, that is like a second defense. Yeah. It is most important. Like, Carolyn, you got it. Don't let me get in there. And if I want to shoot down here, you don't have to swing your shield that way. Just shoot your hands like that. So if I'm going down, just there you go. Arc does a lot of what's outside. Arc does a lot of cutting down, which is really it's just really keep your weapon more like up in the air in this angle, like up in the air. Actually, the only thing you have to worry about is here, like you're blocking little if you just push out, block my shot.
Kiss it from ambling?
Yeah, basically. And then if you go low, if I go lower, you grab your hand.
I don't even have my shot unless
Lower. There you go. That's basically what it's like. And then here, you of course block that. Block that. Which
Now all of a sudden it's much closer.
like you
No,
said,
just if I would switch my stance, I could probably make it harder. You have to switch from my shield.
Yeah, it's just it's all about now that you're here, you have a little more reach on my side. Yeah, there you go. It's a little easier to reach out.
Even then,
Which I really wouldn't probably do that so much because
Yeah, you might get stuck. Leave that side open. So the thing is always try to keep your shield up as high as you can. That way, so I can shot. It's basically about blocking and moving your feet. Like if someone swings with your shoulder, there's no need to drop your shield low. If you drop your shield low on the ground,
yeah.
Take it off. If anyone takes off by force,
really quick reaction into it.
just let you know.